DXY was a little bit bullish yesterday, which is actually kind of what I wanted to see. This one's got a lot of gaps. That was a lot of gaps as well. So yeah, dollar was pretty bullish. We had a big gap to the upside. Price had a bit of a reaction from that 107 area. Did it hit the consolidation? I believe so. Yes, it did. So this is the area I'm looking for the dollar to react from, and we have seen a pretty nice reaction. So I'm looking for a retest and either a high low or equal low for some longs there for the dollar. Again, this is an area where I could, the market could see a higher low and possibly continue to the upside. And this is the area where I'm looking for entries. Well, not on the dollar, but on euro and pound, which we'll get to in a second. But of course, this is our last major high low. This is our last low, which gave us this high here, of course, breaking through that high. So essentially, we're looking for a pullback of that swing and for continuation of it. If I do whip out the fib from the high to the low, you can see we're in that 0.618 area. So it's a healthy pullback coming into an area where we've consolidated in the past and we saw a lot of momentum to the upside. So we know that, okay, there's a lot of buying pressure in this area, and we've had some confluence with the fib as well. And now we're seeing a reaction on the 4-hour time frame. So if we can see that high low or an equal low, I will be anticipating the dollar to see some upside and possibly a swing all the way back to 110 and potentially a lot higher, of course. And if you jump into euro, I'm pretty much looking at euro doing the exact opposite. Nice reaction as well for euro USD, kind of looking for something similar, looking for a lower high or an equal high, and then looking for price to continue to the downside. And hopefully we can look to catch that and swing it back to the prior low, which is all the way down there. Again, doesn't have to necessarily be a trade all the way down there. As I said yesterday, even if you can catch a swing halfway, depending on your entry, you're probably still looking at a healthy 1 to 2, 1 to 3, maybe even more than that. And then you can look to manage the trade, halfway and leave some positions to run should we continue a lot further. Of course, if you want to look for the big swing, the potential is there as well. But it's the same situation for Euro USD. Lovely swing high over there, created that low, of course, breaking through this low here. Now essentially we're looking for the pullback of this move for the continuation. And in this case, we've actually pushed into the 0.786. So nice fib confluence there. So now looking for that lower high or that equal high for the continuation a lot lower. So still bearish on Euro USD. Still mostly respecting this level of support here on the left and the weekly chart as resistance. So as long as that stays true and we don't start breaking above that, then I will keep that bearish bias intact for euro, looking for a big move to the downside. If we do start breaking above this, especially on the weekly chart, then of course I will kind of relax that bias and maybe even switch it to a bullish one. But for now, still respecting areas where we could sell off and looking for that retracement for that continuation lower. And of course, dollar looking for pretty much the opposite, but expecting them to move in sync. In terms of pound USD, we are still testing that 1.25 area, which is looking good. Had a bit of a reaction yesterday, which is nice to see a sign that pound USD is respecting 1.25 and we're not just breaking straight through. So we are respecting it. Euro had a better reaction yesterday, so it looks a little bit better. Again, something similar on pound I'm looking for as well. For continuation back to that price swing low. If I expand and look at the bigger picture, you can see we've got these major lower highs, which pound USD has been printing. One over there, second over there, third over here, and again, looking at a fourth generally in this area. So that's what I'm looking for my entries, and hopefully a swing back to the prior low around 1.21 looks pretty good. We've broken through that ascending channel a long time ago, so that's kind of what I'm expecting price. Expecting price to stay below because we've saw a really strong break of that area. And again, if price wanted to go bullish in the daily chart, I would have expected us to at least bounce from this area and show some signs of continuation. We didn't really get that. There was a slight bounce, but price later went and broke through. So I'm looking for this bearish trend to continue and possibly another swing back to that low. Euro USD had a slightly bigger reaction, so the price action in terms of the entry looks a little bit better. But pound USD could still potentially sell off a little bit, give us a lower high somewhere and get some nice shorts or an equal high. So Still looking for shorts for pounds. Really nice area here at 1.25. And again, looking for some entries to take this one lower. In terms of dollar CAD, I believe we're still in consolidation for that one. Yes, we are. So not much to report on, to be honest, here with dollar CAD. I'm looking for opportunities, preferably to the upside here of dollar CAD, but we're just within the range, so nothing really to report on for the past 2-3 weeks now. Really, I'm still looking for pushback to the high there, not too far away. There is a massive level of weekly resistance turn support here, which potentially we could see price pull back towards before continuing. So there could be a lot more downside in store for us for dollar CAD before we do see some upside. Or, of course, we could just break to the upside and continue and go and hit that high. Either which way, long term, I'm pretty bullish on dollar CAD. However, as we continue to trade in that range, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines until we can see some opportunities as price does go and break the high and we look for some pullbacks, or we go and break the low and look for some pullbacks there as well. So yeah, really not interested in dollar CAD as long as we stay within that range, waiting for the breakout patiently. In terms of Aussie dollar, this one a bit of a move to the downside as well. I'm still looking for a bit bigger of a pullback for Aussie dollar. Again, as I've been mentioning, we've taken out some really key lows on the daily, weekly charts here. So we've taken out that low there. We've taken out this low here as well. So I'm not really interested in shorting Aussie dollar at these prices. We've had a really big drop over the past few weeks. Now it's time to see a bit of a pullback. And it looks like we are seeing signs of that happening. It's just we haven't seen much of one yet. I'm at least looking for price to get to this area around 0.637. Really steady level of support on the daily chart, which now, of course, will be flipped as resistance. So I'm still looking for Aussie dollar to find some feet and keep pushing to the upside. I think intraday buys still look pretty good, actually. I think there's a bit of a trend line confluence here connecting the higher lows. So I still think intraday buys do look pretty good there for Aussie dollar. In terms of shorts and what I'm really waiting for, I do want to see price start testing these daily levels before I do look for any entries. So Aussie dollar still anticipating a little bit more upside, but again, purely as a pullback for price to continue lower. That's still my thinking. New Zealand dollar, pretty much the same setup as well. There's a couple levels I'm looking at for this one to short from. We've got the prior low here, which we just broke through. I haven't had a retest of that since the breakout. And likewise with this level, although the market was kind of chopping around a little bit when it initially did break, but it still looks like a really healthy area to short from. So 0.58, 0.586, we'll call it, are the areas I'm interested in. But likewise with Aussie dollar, price has been very, very corrective. So again, looking for a bigger pullback here. And hopefully we can talk about some shorts pretty soon from that 0.58 area or that 0.586, depending where we get to and how bullish or bearish we are. But again, from an intraday point of view, I do think we probably will bounce to the upside here for New Zealand dollar. I'm just not really interested in the shorts just yet. You can see we're kind of getting this bowl-shaped pattern a little bit, maybe not the textbook ones, kind of a bit more like a V-shape type bowl. But again, you can see how corrected the market is. Not really something that gives you a lot of confidence to short for a big swing. So yeah, expecting more upside there for New Zealand dollar. Still bearish on the higher time frame, so that's where the main focus does lie. In terms of gold, gold's actually looking very, very interesting. I'm looking to buy gold from this level here at 27.20-ish. 27.25. I'm looking to buy gold from there, anticipating another swing back to the all-time highs and hopefully a lot further as well. There is that psychological level of 2,800 just above where we're trading. So I think that could be a nice little target to have. But yeah, gold had a big move to the downside yesterday. I wasn't expecting that. I think on stream yesterday, this candle here was looking pretty bullish. I was like, okay, maybe gold's just going to continue to the upside and not give us the pullback. But then the afternoon came and gold was very, very bearish and we had a big drop there. So I'm looking to see if gold can roll over one more time, go test that same level, 27.25, find some entries in that area, and hopefully we can take it back into the swing eye. Again, with gold, high time frames here, all very, very bullish. Weekly chart, very bullish. You can see the trend here on the weekly time frame still looking very, very healthy. You can see the last weekly candle close very strongly bullish as well. Of course, hasn't taken out that high yet, but with that momentum, there's a good chance that this week probably will go and take out that high. as well. So yeah, very, very bullish on gold. If we do break underneath that level, 27.25, that's when I probably relax the bias a little bit. We might go for a deeper correction before pushing up. But this is a clear-cut level, was resistance very, very well not too long ago. Price is now broken through with some healthy momentum, leaving behind a healthy area for a retest. Did not mean to do that. For a retest and some long. So yeah, just waiting to buy gold really. Of course, not quite at my level yet, so still waiting for one more move down, which on the lower time frames does look like we could go through as well. We had a really big drop yesterday. This to me might be a bit of a correction, and then we might see a drop maybe again this afternoon when the New York session does step in. But yeah, very, very bullish on gold, looking for a push back to the all-time high. In terms of silver, not a big fan of this one. It's getting very choppy now. We had this ascending channel, which looks like price is kind of breaking through, really, which is funny because it's more of a bearish signal for silver, which is funny because gold still looks very, very bullish. And I'm expecting gold to go and take out those all-time highs. But silver, I don't know what silver's doing. It's kind of just messing around, really. I mean, I'm looking for silver to get back to these highs. That's still the plan. And it well could be doing that in the long term. But we are just so corrective now on these lower time frames. And if anything, this could be a high, a lower low. This could be another lower high for potential another lower low. With how corrective prices being, and the fact that we're starting to break shots to the downside, this is more of a bearish signal for silver and could give us a swing back to the lows there. So silver, although I'm very much a bull for silver, I'm still looking for buys. There is no bullish setup here, to be honest, or at least a good one anyway. So I'm kind of just, on the sidelines with silver. I know I'm looking to buy, but nothing there yet. Maybe if you do have one more push to the downside back into the lows, I may consider something like that, but we're a long way away from that as well. So gold looks pretty clear to me. So just focus on that one really.